listening to Radio Connections with Pace, where it all comes together with your host, Gina Pagnotta Murphy and Ebony Walton.
Well, what is that floating over in my head? Oh, Lord. I was like, what is going on? Floating over in my head. It's still there. Whole bunch of all kind of mechanical doohickeys. Okay, y'all hold on, y'all. She trying. Okay, I can bring it up a little bit. Push it to me. Yeah, I can deal with it. But that's her chandelier, y'all. So just try to ignore it.
I'm done with you.
Yeah, her chandelier, bougie. This is bougie. Vice President bougie. Whatever. The president don't even have a chandelier. Anyway, so welcome to Radio Connections with Pace. Today is March 21st, and you're online with us and where it all comes together. And today is Tell All Tuesday. I'm your host, Gina Pagnotta Murphy, president of Pace.
And I am your co-host, Ebony Walton, vice president of Pace. And this show is for City of Atlanta employees, whether new or seasoned, classified or none, on-site or teleworkers. This platform was created to bring awareness to all things in the city, whether good or bad, in hopes of finding a resolve.
Let's talk about it. Why do you always turn your head quick that way when we say let's talk about it?
I don't know. It's no reason. I just do.
No
reason.
So let's talk about it. What are we going to talk about? We got a lot to talk about.
We have a lot to talk about.
About shutting up, whatever.
We got a lot to discuss.
Anyway, so we're going to talk about
How was your week?
Oh, we got to talk about that first. It was busy. This week, the beginning of the week or last week?
Last week.
Last week was real busy.
How was last Tuesday? From Tuesday, Wednesday? How was your week up until now?
Busy,
Jesus.
Innovative, sad, depressing, stressful. Anything else you want to know?
No, not
How was your week?
Busy. It was busy.
Okay.
Stressful.
Okay.
Innovative.
Okay.
Exciting somewhat.
Oh, well, that's different.
We had a little excitement. We did.
Pray tell.
We will during the show. We did.
Oh, during the show we did.
During the show, we're going to tell the excitement.
Oh.
She hasn't been here all this morning since she walked in the house 5 minutes ago. I don't know where she is. She's still outside.
I just ate some bananas so I can get some potassium. Maybe that's what it is. With age comes low stuff. Hey, I do know this. Last week, yes, I had my full physical. And I was like, wow, y'all never did this before. What's going on here? My anxiety was kicking in.
Well, the older they have to do different things every year. Different things to you.
You get ready to say something.
I didn't.
What would you get ready to say, Miss
Nothing
Ebony?
at all.
I heard the word older. What were you trying to say?
When your age goes up a year, they have to do certain things, to make sure that you're okay.
What you trying to say?
I'm turning a year older too, and things are changing. Every year something changes.
So how old are you now?
I'll be over 40. I'm not in my 50s. I'm already over 40. I'll be 44.
Okay, so then when you hit 50, there goes some other things gonna happen, and then you hit 60, some other things gonna happen. Then 65, you're gonna be talking about.
My mom just told me she almost said she's 68.
You be talking about life insurance and all kinds of stuff.
Been talking about.
Yeah, but then you start really thinking about it.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
But anyway, if you stay out there and live long enough, you be grateful that God's giving you a better day.
Exactly.
Okay.
Great.
So now let me give this disclaimer again verbally before we move on, because we got a good topic and some hot stuff to talk about this week, today. Tell All Tuesday. So all the views or anything that we say or we're disclaiming, either it's going to be allegedly or factual. They're not necessarily the views and opinions of this podcast or anything definitely of the city of Atlanta. Everything we discuss is either facts or, in our opinion, how we see it as union officials, union elected officials, as the president and the vice president of PACE. Why it's called Radio Connection with PACE. For all you chatters that calls in, all the chatters that chat in, your views and opinions are also not necessarily the views and opinions of the union nor the city, but have you see it. So, moving right along.
The movie for the week. It's an old movie, but it's new to me because I just saw it. Surviving Compton. You need to see it because I didn't know Michelle's story.
Oh, I saw the Michelle. Is that her story?
This is her story.
Oh, that was the name of it. I saw it. I was in tears.
It was good.
Because I didn't know that she went as a woman in the music industry. I always heard about it because, I moved down here from Fayetteville, North Carolina to Atlanta to be a big rock star with a band. 9 of us. We did have opportunity to tour overseas, but I do recall some drama that I wasn't going to tolerate in the music industry. It is awful.
She went through a lot.
And for her to go through what she did, you either got to really love it and just set aside stuff to make this big mega millions that you think you're going to make. So yes, I really appreciate, and there's only one song that she sang that I really like, but knowing what she went through to sing that song, it's sad. So yeah, that was a good one.
So
finally,
it's about her life through the record company and being involved with Suge Knight and Dre.
Well, Dr. Dre, in my opinion, this is my opinion.
Didn't do him justice. That show.
Well, you see what's coming out now on him, so it had to be some kind of maybe allegedly truthfulness of it.
Man,
it did, and I liked Dr. Dre until I saw that.
I didn't know.
Well, I always knew, in my opinion,
I didn't expect that, and I didn't expect her to go from one bad relationship that
she did.
But that's a cycle. She didn't know. She didn't know when they showed the beginning of her mom telling her, Don't bring these behaviors to let this man handle you that way. What did you do? And then at the end, she later said, I'm so sorry for telling you that you never should let a man hit on you. And this is Women's History Month, so don't let a man hit on you.
No abuse. Physical,
ever. This month, no
mental, verbal, whatever should not be said. You all should be a team. You're going to have your disagreements and arguments, but if you friends first, you know how to come back, wind it back. Exactly. Okay, you all have opinion. Me and you have differences of opinion.
Yeah, but we don't beat.
But
not yet. She make it sometimes.
But I let you have it a lot of times. I just say you got it.
Really? Because I let you have it a lot of times. I be like,
really?
I'm not even finna go with it. It's okay. Let me let her have it.
Really? That's what you be doing? You need to start speaking out.
Doing? I will let some stuff settle for right now. I can't speak too much. Which brings us to this show again.
Okay, so
anyway,
we're talking about let's do this.
I'm not gonna do that. The inspiration, the song first?
Yeah, because it ties into Surviving Compton. Don't you think?
Yeah, I guess so.
You let me have it?
Why not?
She picked the song, but really, for the first time in a long time, Surviving Compton was pretty good. And I did see the Adams Project. That was.
I told you it was good.
But I might go back and watch Surviving Compton again.
Yeah, that's something you should watch.
Because my daughter told me, Shawanda, she just said she just saw it. And I'm like, that's an old movie. But she said it was Chalet story. And I didn't know it was called Surviving Compton. But that's good.
It is. It is. All right, so we're going to play the song again. We do not own the rights to this song.
Good afternoon, TW.
Yeah, I thought I cut it off, but it's still on.
Listen to
At first I was afraid, I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong. I was strong, and I learned how to get along. And so you're back from my mistakes. I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. I should have changed that. I should have made you leave your seat. I know for just 1 second you'd be back to follow me. Walk down the door. Just kind of
We don't own the rights to this music, but it fits our story today. Women's Month.
Did you think I?
Not I. So if you get a chance to go back and listen to this song, give you a little joy, give you some strength, ladies, for Women's Month. I will survive. Yes, we will.
Survive.
Where my
No matter
chatters
what.
at?
They over there. I'm trying to hide them though.
I don't want to hide them. Show them. It's our podcast.
I'm talking about their.
We'll just call them by AG to this initial.
It's not gonna make sense when everybody else.
That's
see
all
it.
right.
That's why I'm gonna let you have it.
I have it.
Okay, I'm gonna let you have it. So our inspiration is not this what you see here. I didn't put it on there. This is a quote.
So we changed it up. I'm letting you have it. Go ahead.
This is a quote from Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay.
And it says, in the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends.
Oh.
I like that.
Say that again.
In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends.
Boy.
Ain't that deep?
That's deep. That fits our story for today.
That's why it is.
The silence of our friends.
The silence.
But the words of our enemy.
We ain't gonna
We
remember
ain't
that.
gonna remember that.
That comes and goes.
Okay.
So,
I want to shout outs.
yes, we do. We have them. We got them all
Okay,
here.
go ahead.
We're gonna do all of this.
Go ahead,
stuff.
producer.
You going ahead of time, Gina.
Okay, go ahead, because I can't wait to get.
Really?
I can't wait.
Okay. So we're gonna do our church announcements.
So Cecilia.
She's back today for a minute. Not long. So today is National Goof Off Day. National Goof Off Day. What is National Goof Off Day? If you're at work, we got some people that goof off every day though. They don't wait till National Goof Off. They just goof off every day.
365 days a week.
They don't want to work.
Yeah.
But today is that day for you to do that. Your boss keep you see you playing on your phone or doing something that you ain't supposed to be doing because you're not getting paid to do that. Tell them it's National Goof Off
Well, they
Day.
be golfing in their office.
It's National Goof Off Day. Catch up on your sleep, read a book, watch a movie, play your board games. Goof off today. We work so stressful all the time in all our environments, you know. Just be goofy today. Sometimes you have to be goofy. And
Try
today
not
is
to
that
look
day.
like you're working.
Yeah, try not to.
You would
look
see
like
you
work.
want to goof off but act like you working.
Yeah.
You know, like
What
okay.
they say, don't work so hard. What's the saying that they say?
I don't know where you coming from. All I know is I be goofing out. My boss walks in, I be like this. Can I help you? As soon as he closes the door.
That's what we're talking about for you to do today.
But then I got it where a relationship. He come in the office. I'm like, oh, what you want now? he don't like this. He be like, I ain't come to bother you. What you here for?
Why are you bothering me? Today also is Diabetics Alert
Ooh.
Day. Diabetes impacts approximately 34.2 million Americans. That's about 10%, y'all. Of those living with diabetes, 7.3 million, 1 in 7 adults don't even know they have it. So it could be hereditary. It could be what you're eating. It's all type of things that could be age. I was just going to say age. And I looked over at her.
I didn't look right at I wasn't even looking at you.
But I'm battling diabetes myself, y'all. So I'm on medication. I don't have to stick myself, but I don't have the insulin, but I do because I have to stick myself. But I take pills. So take care of yourself. And mine is my grandmother had it. Too. My father had it. It's just kind of I've always had it since I was a child. I don't produce enough sugar in my body. So it is what it is.
And let me speak on that. Speaking of diabetes, I had my annual physical in which I'm asking you to go out and get your annual physical, whether you with Kaiser or Blue Cross Blue Shield, your yearly physical, and go get your physical so you can get your extra card. You know, you get that little $350 or $250 card for going. And it's always, and you do need to know what's going on with your body. And I went and got mine. And he said I was pre-diabetic. My level, and I'm not ashamed to tell, is at 5.8. But then my sister get upset because she is diabetic. And she told me, she said, that's not pre-diabetes. But
No.
I think that's what Kaiser has their own standards where they want you to be, you know, at a certain point to keep you from being. So it's being what they call proactive,
and that's
preventive.
good.
So
to go ahead and tell you get some type of better eating habits before it comes out.
Yes. And somebody said, work smart, not hard.
That's what I was trying to say. Work smart and not hard.
Work smart, not hard. I never work hard. I just work smart.
But that's the saying, work smart.
And then let me tell you, show that. You see these two pieces of paper?
What?
This is called working smart.
They don't see that.
Y'all see these pieces of paper right here? This is called, now these two pieces of paper will stay on my desk. I just shuffle them to this side, to that side. That's working smart.
That's not working at all.
Okay.
So, did you know on Sundays, Georgia has the law that you cannot carry ice cream cone in your back pocket?
What the? Is that on the books for real?
I promise it's a Georgia law.
Anybody out there heard of this law? Michael Pulliam, I know you're listening. Do you legal? You ever heard of that law?
You cannot carry ice cream cone in your back pocket.
Who wants to carry an ice cream cone in the back pocket? That's crazy. What do you know what brought that on?
No, not that one. Like last week was the donkey. I knew what brought that one on. But the ice cream, no, I don't know. Maybe somebody went on the bus and sat down and forgot the ice cream was in their back pocket and messed up the seat. I don't know.
Listen, y'all know anything about it? Chat it in before the show is over. Because I'm sure.
It's true.
Who would put an ice cream cone in their back pocket?
Look up crazy laws in Georgia. It's a lot of stuff out there. We just going to bring you one a week.
Oh, my God.
So, again, remember, ethics training is by May 2nd, which is coming up close. Registration for track and field is the last day is tomorrow. So registration for track and field, having kids running, get some exercise. It's the last day is tomorrow. Kids don't play like they used to play. They want to just play on video games. That's it. So
we got kudos.
Mm-hmm.
Kudos to Mr. Brian Amos. I
need you to say that name.
Byron Amos.
Thank you.
City Council President Doug Shipman. Byron Amos is also a City Council person.
Mm-hmm.
And would like to give a kudos to Commissioner Gooding for always wanting to partner with PACE for Atlanta 311. And also President Doug Shipman, we met with him, and we met with Byron Amos, councilman, regarding E911, some issues, some suggestions, and we're having a meeting that they're putting together. Hopefully they'll all be in attendance on this Friday. This Friday coming, so we can have a good rapport. And kudos to Commissioner Gooding, and also our condolences to Commissioner Gooding, who as of this morning we found out that she have lost some family members. So keep her in prayer, her and her family, as we like to do a shout out. Like to give also a shout out to a Vietnamese kitchen restaurant. I actually ate some of their food and I was quite impressed. And they're located on 209 Edgewood Avenue. What is that little place down there? Where you get all the food you walk through down there on Edgewood. I forget the name of it. The market. It's called Omega. Omega. And their food are actually, just ask for Miss Princess and tell her Pace sent you. And Omega is a Vietnamese kitchen, but they're good, healthy food. I didn't think I love that soup. The name is crazy, but it's at the market in Edgewood called Omega. Like, oh my gosh, go check him out. Say Pace sent you.
And we want to say for all those that have lost, we want to give a moment.
Yeah.
Of anyone that have lost anyone, loved ones, friends.
We had a sorority sister that lost, two sorority sisters. They're in the same family, lost a cousin, I think, and a nephew. So shout outs to them as well. Condolences to them from us. So give a moment for grieving. Bow your heads. All righty.
That's it.
All right. Well, no, that's not it.
I know. I'm talking about for the moment to grieve.
No, you forgot Sister. Yeah.
What?
Sister Gertrude. I don't need the hat. But Sister Gertrude, this is Sister Gertrude reminding everybody out there that as part of this PACE organization, you did not pay for your building fund this week. And if you do hashtag or $GeoPat, You can send all your monies to me, and I'll make sure it gets to the building fund after I buy my pocketbook. Everybody pick up their check. They did.
They did.
You cleared the check.
Everybody picked it up.
I don't know where the money is though. But anyway. So anyway, if everybody out there, disclaimer, joking is a joke. We don't have a building fund and we're not collecting money, but you can send us a little gift every now and then. Send us a food voucher so I can go eat.
All right, so now we are still celebrating Women's History Month. And as always, get ready because it is time to hear some words of wisdom as he shares his tidbits on Women's History Month. And it's, as always,
the motivational,
articulate,
the diabolical,
and amazing
Mr. Spencer Croft.
What's going on? What's going on, ladies? How's everybody doing? What's happening with you? Everybody good? Hey, listen. I was just listening to y'all talk about that whole Michelle A thing. Now, one thing about that now, you can only get away with what's allowed. Now, I do honestly believe that. So, you know, and you know, make sure y'all take care of yourself as far as the diabetes thing and everything. You know, just make sure you do your thing. Hey, listen, y'all, we're doing this whole Women's History Month thing, and this thing is serious today, y'all. This thing is serious today. I'm talking about a lady. She was born Eleanor Fagan in 1915, better known as Billie Holiday. Y'all listen to what I'm talking about now. Now, she spent much of her young life in Baltimore, Maryland. She was raised primarily by her mother. Billie Holiday had only a tenuous connection with her father, who was a jazz guitarist in Fletcher Henderson's band. Now, she lived, y'all, in extreme poverty. She dropped out of high school in the 5th grade. And when she was 12, she moved with her mother to Harlem, where she was eventually arrested for prostitution, considered by many to be the greatest jazz vocalist of all time. Billie Holiday lived a difficult life, y'all. It's so serious. If you've never seen this show, you got to see it. Her singing expressed an incredible depth of emotion that spoke of hard times and injustices as well as triumph. It was not, however, until about 1939 with her song Strange Fruit, y'all. Good God Almighty, that Holiday found her real audience, a deeply powerful song about lynching. Did y'all hear what I said? Yeah. Lynching. Strange Fruit was a revelation in its disturbing and emotional condemnation of racism. Holiday's voice could be both quiet and strong at the same time. Now, when Billie Holiday died, police officers watched over her. Check this out, y'all. Lying in a hospital bed, she was handcuffed and placed under arrest despite being sick and put on the hospital's critical list. And after all that, this lady is dead, y'all. And these people now are saying, you have the right to remain silent. Good God Almighty. Now, this thing is so serious to me because this whole thing about Billie Holiday and this Strange Fruit, y'all, man, it's something to deal with. Hey, listen, y'all, we got to hear more about this. This show is going to be very, very, very serious. I want to thank you so much for your time this time. And until the next time, I hope it's better than the last. And as my dad would always say, you're never out of business when you mind your own. This is your boy Croft. We'll holler at you later. Peace.
Thank you. Interesting about Billie Holiday. That Strange Fruit, yeah, that does resonate a lot. That's going on. It does. So just to hear you talk about the silence of people, just to hear it a little bit. And we don't have the rights to this, but we're going to play a little bit of it for you.
Southern trees body swinging in the southern breeze. Strange fruit hanging.
So that is a difficult song to hear when you know what it's about, what it resonates in people on difficult situations and people that they don't like and things that has happened. And she saw, according to her autobiography, she saw some things and decided to write this piece about strange fruit. And the irony of it, in my interpretation, when I saw the movie, the real movie on Billie Holiday, not the one Diana Ross played, which she did a great job, but the real autobiography of Billie Holiday, is that when she got Carnegie Hall and sang this song, everybody wanted to hear it. Mm-hmm. Everybody, white, black, Jews, whoever, everybody wanted to hear the song. And the epitome of it is the fact where she was talking about the mistreatment of black people. But you couldn't really speak out on it, so she put it in a song. Yeah. And it resonates of keeping your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. So you had to speak in parables, and her song was a parable, as Jesus did. He talked to people in parables. And, it was regarding things that you couldn't talk about back there.
That's right.
Which brings us to my topic of the day, some form of union busting.
That's right.
When you can't say what you want to say, even if you say with respect or you tell them the truth. Mm-hmm. The people that don't like it or don't like the truth, for whatever reason it is, ostracize these people. Or if they have the power, they will be able to do some mean things or corrupt things, unethical things, or whatever, just mean-spirited, ill-spirited things to employees. Especially when they find out that they're in the union.
And it's just like with everybody know what's going on, right? We all know what's going on. Even back in those days when they had racism, now it's different things. You still deal with racism. We know all the different difficulties different races have to struggle with, genders have to struggle with. Everybody, we all know that these situations are out there. Everybody knows it. That's not the problem. The problem is when you have a platform and you speak against those things that are coming against these people or these cultures, these races or genders, then that's when the problem is, because now they no longer just seeing it as, okay, this is something we can look past. We see it here, but I'm not really paying attention. Now it's being talked about. And then when people start talking, you start trying to figure out how to fix it. And nobody wants that. That's the thing. Nobody wants it. You don't want to have to deal with that.
Because for one, it could be that they don't like to hear that they made a mistake. They look at it being negative. They don't like no one, they as in whoever the leaders are. Some leaders don't like you to tell them because you're not on their level, or that's not your job to tell me what to do. And they don't understand how union works. So they're not, I don't like the word, well, again, I'm speaking freely, my opinion. You may be ignorant to what union is about. Yeah. And ignorant is not used in the contents of being negative. It means that you may not understand. And when you don't understand so paranoidly, then it becomes ignorant when you don't want to learn and make a change. Because unions are a great asset, can be, to you if you allow them to come in and partner with you. And that's why we give these kudos to certain people that have worked with PACE, Commissioner Gooding, Commissioner Wiggins, and we just have, in all of the council people, we have more than 90% that does listen and then supports us. In the past, we've had an administration that we meet with maybe twice a year or once a year. So unions are here. This union is here. I'm just the face of PACE, as I always say, for right now. But years come, never know when it's time for me to pass the torch, as we always do. But this union will still be a viable union. And as long as I'm around, I will do my best to continue God's work that's put in my heart, to support and lobby and advocate for the members of this union. So we need to get whoever's not on board need to find that train and step on. We need to find that train by the OJs or whoever or who was that about the train. Anybody know a song about the train? But anyway,
you have different ways that companies can do union busting. One is employer can launch. How do you say that? I'm gonna let you have
AstroTurf campaign. I just said it. AstroTurf.
Tough. It's not an R.
Well, why you got an R in the next line?
Because I copied it offline.
AstroTurf
campaign, which exactly they said it's a fake attempt to mimic a grassroots movement. And what it is employees will recruit a few members that's not for a union, or maybe they just don't know, and they would have their own thing. The employers will manipulate these employees. They will most of the time lie, make them think that we're going to make some changes. All of this to divert the actual employees from going and reaching out to the actual union. That's what it is.
And that particular one is more so on the national level, or on these federal levels where they actually have union states, is where they start putting money behind these campaigns, large wealth. They do a lot, like they're running for office to union bust. But go back up to number 1, which I think reflects to us. The employer hires a union busting consultant. Well, maybe not. This is still federal, but this is what they can do. As stated earlier, employers spend over $300 million a year making rich lawyers even richer. Instead of negotiating with employees, union busting employers will hire consultants and spend thousands of dollars per employee in an effort to illegally prevent them from exercising their right to unionize. Union busting consultants lie, manipulate, and threaten workers simply trying to exercise their right. This is a union busting tactic. Now, the city, in my opinion, definitely we have not gotten there because we're legislated. The city has partnered with the 4 unions in the city of Atlanta, and it's legislated in our code that we operate under a memorandum of understanding. So the city of Atlanta is trying to partner with the unions. However, we have some department heads that they hire that's not into this. Remember, go to number 3. Go to number 3. Yeah. I wanted you to go to number 3. And then you have forced meetings. This is about intimidation, pure and simple. Employees will be forced to have a one-on-one meetings with management and even their union busting consultants. Let's just move away to union busting consultants and just say one-on-one meetings, because they do that right now in the city.
Yes, they do.
The employer may also hold captive audience meetings where employees are forced to attend these meetings, where they are forced to hear, listen to any anti-union propaganda. For instance, it might not be anti-union in the word, but they say certain things that make you feel uncomfortable, especially that experience I had with the commissioner that said you can go tell the administration or the COO that any manager that has to have a union to come with them to talk to me, I don't need them on my team. That's union busting. Yeah. So the employer can start making promises like an abusive. Union busting employees will start promising change and all of the above. So the bottom line is, however, the only way to guarantee real change and hold an employee accountable is through a union. Let me repeat that. The only way to guarantee real change and hold an employer accountable is through a union. You cannot do that alone, because by the time you try to do all of this alone, they will come back, retaliate against you, and all kinds of stuff. So we have to be strong, you guys, and stay strong so that you will be able to, because it's a hard fight, especially if it's dealing with you. Okay? I see some talking here says Suge Knight is quite we don't want nobody coming in seeing our podcast, TW. I ain't gonna say that word, but we know he was a mess. Okay, that's why he's behind bars today, but we'll see what's going on. Also, if you notice that a lot of times when we do our what is you laughing about?
Nothing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So,
see, this is a form.
I'm doing work
of union busting.
That is not union busting.
I'm trying to talk about union busting, and here she go texting and laughing. Can you share?
I'm just trying to get a guest on the show.
But okay, get
That's
guest
all.
on the show, but it must
That's
be
all.
funny. That guest must be
Yeah, they
funny.
were saying my expression.
Yeah, because you looking like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you have it.
Okay.
Anyway, so we're just trying to expound on the fact that union busting is out there. It may not be as hard with the city promoting that because they are not, but we do have a few people that works for the city that tries.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to be captivated and be letting us know when it's happening to you and let us know immediately so we can handle that for you. So we have, okay, you got union organized, you have a right to organize,
Mm-hmm.
which PACE has,
Yes.
and we continue to organize. And that's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's not like
anybody have anything to say in the chat? If you have been asking for our help and assistance for some reason this past month, we've been having a lot of problems.
Yeah.
I have to say that. A
With
lot
other
of
departments,
a lot of employees
Mhm.
are having some issues, and they're basically around the same.
But a lot of the employees are, because of out of fear of retaliation, they don't want to speak out. I had one employee say that they wasn't going to bring any more issues up to the union because every time they bring these issues, there's a problem with their department heads. They pick on them. They set them out. So now this employee now has done a complete 360, but it's not because she wanted to. It's because they feel like they have to and feel like they have to comply. But anytime something is wrong, just like the quote, now she's doing it now, but just like the quote Dr. King said, we're not going to remember what our enemies do. What we will remember is those that were friends with us when they don't speak up on your behalf or their behalf. Most of the time, I don't speak up on my behalf for anything. I speak on, just like Gina, you speak on the behalf of others. Those people will remember, we will remember when you had a right to speak and you just chose not to. That's the most devastating thing that you can do. I see you getting beat right here, and then someone come and say, "Did you see the person that done it?" I refuse to say anything. So in my mind, if I don't say anything, I'm not wrong. And if I just stay quiet, I'm not telling the other person. But
it's just as guilty
you
because
just
you're
guilty.
not saying anything.
You're complying with the behavior when you don't speak. You comply with that bad behavior when we don't speak. Oh, Miss Tim, stop.
We didn't know that, TW.
I didn't know.
Okay, well,
we got to take care of it.
We got to take care of ourselves, and we've got some chats coming in about diabetes, and we might have some information on that next time. But we definitely want you guys to get out there, get your annual physical, do your medication. As Ebony always asks me, did you take your medicine? But that's for something else. But anyway, because she think I've been getting on her nerves. So what are we looking for?
I'm just looking. I'm looking.
Okay. So anyway, do we have our guests ready?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
They might not be able to come on.
Oh, okay.
So I was trying to see if they could or not.
So we're going to move on then?
Yes, because what we need to do is we have to have a meeting with HR soon.
Very soon. Department of Human Resources.
We have to have a meeting. We have to get some things clear, some understanding to some documentations when we putting the employees on sick abuse, sick warning. What else you have?
Unclassified, counseling forms, all kinds of stuff.
We have to, because we still haven't gotten a resolve. And I thought we did when we had a meeting back in September. We brought these documents up for warning and the abuse.
Don't you need to
remember?
Put your moves on.
I just took it off. I got to put it back on.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. You got it.
Go ahead. I'm waiting for you to do so.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
You going to tell me?
Yeah, when you put it on.
I'm so tired.
So, well, you can take it off in a minute, but we want to make a point.
Okay.
Do everybody know what this is that our vice president have on her face? It's not a mask. It's what you look like a mask, but it's actually a muzzle.
I just wanted it to be cute.
No, you didn't want to be cute. It's a muzzle. And mostly muzzles go on what? Dogs. They had a muzzle on that. Remember that person in that movie that had a muzzle? He was biting everybody, eating everybody, a human being. I forget the name of it. But the point of this, in my opinion, is a muzzle. There's someone out there or some entity wants to put a muzzle on our podcast. Not so much as our podcast, but pretty much, want to shut us up like we dogs, putting muzzles on us. Quit speaking. Call me a bulldog. Want to put a muzzle on it. And it's gotten so bad that they're attacking one of my VPs. They're trying to come and put a muzzle on Pace. It ain't going to happen. Because that's a form of union busting. And we cannot speak on and advocate for our union and what's going on just because a person is in that department. Then you should be waiting to partner with this union so we wouldn't be after you or talking about you. Others have gone to do that, and it's respectable all the way around. So Ebony has to put a muzzle on whenever we're talking about certain subjects. I've asked her to. So now I'm going to speak on the parts that she has to speak about for E911. Now, as she was talking about, we got to get with Department of Human Resources. As she was alluding to that I'm talking about, let me put that disclaimer out there, that I am saying that we have to get in touch with Department of Human Resources to talk about these two memorandums that came out of E911 as a starting of their APD type of internal correspondence. But again, my problem, this union's problem, is these employees in the E911 call center are not police, or they're not sworn. They are civilians. And it's definitely time to get this settled. Are they going to fall under APD and stay and put them as sworn? Or if they're going to be civilian employees and follow the progressive steps of discipline that's laid out in the Muni Code in the City of Atlanta legislation. So one of the issues that we're having, there are two documents. Now, in the civilian world, in the civilian legislation, following the progressive steps of discipline, you give warnings, oral admonishments, warnings, then oral admonishments, then reprimands, then your MPAA, notice of proposed adverse action, which you guys call in the E911 APD, OPS packages for investigation, which civilians call it notice of proposed adverse action to a final adverse action, which the investigation is done then, and then we lobby and advocate for what's going to happen on your end result. However, there's a lot of discrepancies about this because I'm looking at two documents called sick leave abuse notification and sick leave abuse warning notification. They're two totally different forms, but meaning the same thing. So whose brilliant idea was this? So you give a person that you're being placed on a sick leave abuse warning for a period of 90 days. Now, if you're giving me a warning, how are you going to give me 90 days for a warning? Warning, in my opinion, means that you're warning me. You're warning me that I noticed you doing something wrong and you need to correct this, or I'm going to have to take you to the next step if you don't correct it. So if you're going by this, saying 90 days, that means after 90 days, I'm going back to doing what I was doing wrong in the first place, even though it was just a warning. But then you turn around and you put here, you are being placed on sick leave abuse for a period of 90 days. So which one is it? And you're giving this to the person at the same time. You can't do that. That's crazy. I just don't get it. And so this is the kind of stuff that who is signing off on this stuff? When you don't have HR involved, this is the kind of stuff that happens. People just make up and do whatever they want to do, or they interpret certain things that's different, and they do it. So I would like to bring Miss Anna Abado on to discuss this. Hey, Anna.
Hello, how are you guys?
We got to put the muzzle on one of our team, our executive board, because, certain entities is trying to muzzle our employee, as they want to call it, employee, but she's not an employee on this podcast. She is an elected official of this executive board of the union office. So she can hear you, but she can't say nothing.
Yeah, I see that you got the muzzle on. Yeah, I
Just to
mean,
be clear, they didn't put it on her. I told her to put it on her, so there'll be no excuse coming after her about anything else she say about E911. See me.
right. No, exactly. And that's the thing. That's the thing that the city, particularly in public safety, they try to do is to, you know, if you speak out and you speak the truth, and the truth is something that folks don't want out there in the public, um, then they will do whatever they have to do or whatever they feel like they want to do to silence you. I mean, this is the way it's always been in social movements is, you know, if we look at history, any way to silence those who are challenging, um, you know, bad policies or laws or procedures. They've always done whatever they could to try and silence people. The other thing that they try to do is to use people as an example, right? So let me use let me use, you know, Ebony as an example of what happens to you when you get active with the union. This is something that's not new. Cities, states, the government, private sector, it doesn't matter who it is. You know, that's the way that they bust the union is by you know, using people as an example so then folks feel like, well, I don't know about being a part of this union thing, right? Because if I'm part of this union thing, then they may do to me the same thing that they're doing to Ebony. Because look, anytime that power, as Frederick Douglass said, power concedes nothing without a demand. It never has and it never will. And that's the reason why we have to stand up and fight and speak truth to power because, you know, that's the only way that anything has ever changed. So, you know, we've got to, with this history of this city of civil rights, quite frankly, the city leadership should be ashamed because they want to spout the history of civil rights and they want to put Atlanta up on a pedestal of being, you know, this progressive city of example of look at, you know, our former leaders, whether, you know, it be, you know, Dr. King, you know, Reverend Lowry, you know, if you look all across the city, that all of our streets are named for these civil rights leaders, that this is supposed to be the beacon of hope for civil and economic rights. But yet it's okay to try and bust the union. It's okay to go after our union leaders. You know, people forget that the, you know, the civil rights movement, quite frankly, would not have subsisted and been as successful without labor. It was A. Philip Randolph. It was Bayard Rustin. It was those folks who were labor leaders who helped, you know, join together with, you know, SCLC and and Dr. King and all of those folks to get to fight for the rights that folks eventually won. And so it's important that our city leaders, while they want to tout and they want to proclaim civil rights, not forget labor union rights and not forget that we as union leaders are the ones that help support those movements here, particularly in the South. But see, they forgot where they've come from, and it's our job, Gina, to remind them.
And that's what we're doing today, Anna. While we created this podcast started out as a friendly reminder to our union members who were doing COVID, could not meet with us or anything. And we wanted to bring them news. And it started out to be fun, and it's still fun, but it's gotten to the point where some folks that just don't care for this union or care for us personally want to try to tarnish what we're trying to do and bring good to this city, to help the city, to give partnership, to help them endorse what they want these employees to do in a fair labor and organization. And don't forget that Joseph E. Boone, the street that our union office is on, was the father of one of our councilmen, Miss Andrea Boone, who was definitely for laboring organization and is here today supporting that movement. So to have her colleagues or any colleagues in the city to be against this union and try to find ways to put a muzzle on this leadership in this union is just a disaster. And something needs to be said and done. We, as long as I have breath in my body, and as long as you're there to support us, and Ebony is here, we're going to continue this fight to advocate for our union members, and as always, for all employees that needs representation. So make sure you all that's reading or looking and come back later and look at this podcast, understand that this is Gina Pagnata Murphy, the president of this local PACE and one of the national vice presidents of NAGE Local R5-50 that is speaking and will continue to speak as long as God give me breath in my body to fight the cause that he's put me on this earth to do. This is my calling. I'm not a bulldog. I'm just someone that fights for the rights of these members.
That's right.
I guess you ain't had nothing else to say after that speech, did you?
No, you said it all, Gina. So, I will say this. One of the people typed in here, Ann G typed in, this sounds Jim Crowish methodology. It does, because that's it does, because, if there's some way for us, for them, the people in power, to silence those that they want to take power away from, that's what they do. And that's exactly what methodology has been used throughout the state of Georgia for hundreds of years. It just looks different now than it did back then, right? Absolutely. So it was a lot more obvious back then. It's a lot more subtle now. But it's the same tactics. It really is. And I know that sounds dramatic. It sounds dramatic, but it is the truth. And so, we will continue to stand by PACE. I'm a national rep for NAGE, the National Association of Government Employees. And PACE is just one of our locals. However, the national will continue to be behind PACE in all of its efforts, and we will continue to fight the good fight to make sure that your voice is heard. So whatever we have to do, whether it's legally, whether it's meeting with administrators, or whether it's in the streets, that's what we'll do.
I know you're good at organizing that street round the city hall. That was fun. We'll do real friendly march, whatever we need to do, but we will not be muzzled. And you will not muzzle my vice president as speaking on behalf of this organization for the city employees. That will stop immediately. Anna, we appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
Anytime you're welcome to talk to our members. And we will soon be trying to put together, once we see where the numbers go, or later on in the next few months, we're going to have a General Assembly meeting at the union office. We'll do a RSVP to see how many will come. And if we have to do it outside, we're going to set up some chairs and just because it's been a while since pandemic. And I know things are kind of lightening up, but I'm also hearing some negative stuff, that some stuff may be coming back. But we'll keep our ears and eyes open out there, and we can hopefully that will surpass and it won't happen. And once we can get the clear go that we can meet, have our General Assembly meeting in person, we'll set that up. And of course, we want you in the regional office there.
Of course, we will be there.
Thank you.
If you guys need anything, you know how to get me. And for all of you members out there listening, if you need representation, obviously you can always reach out to your president and vice president or anybody on the executive board, but you can also call the union office and just tell them, that you're a city employee, that you're a member, dues member of PACE. We will check the list to make sure that you are, and that you need help with the case. And depending on the nature of the case, will depend on whether it's me or Mike, or if it has to be escalated immediately up to the attorneys. Don't handle things on your own. Like, because you think that, hey, I'm very smart, and you probably are. I have a degree. I'm this, that, and the other. I can handle this stuff myself. I've worked for the city for 20 years. I know everybody. That may be the case, but when you're in a situation, sometimes you think people are your friends and they really are not. And the slightest little thing that you say could be used against you. And you want to make sure that you have somebody else to look at it before you act. And so that's what we're here for. Like I said, you can always call the union office.
And we're going to put that number, Emily's going to type the union office number in the chat.
Sounds great.
Right there is 404-521-9043.
Yes.
And I would definitely, even if you call me, I will listen to you. But normally to open a case, I will refer to the union office and let them assign you one of the reps. But we do keep in touch. So again, thank you for all your hard work and support, Anna, as always.
You are very welcome. Y'all take care. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye-bye. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, that you have heard from our regional, one of our regional reps that come out to let you say exactly what's happening and going on. But we will continue to have this as long as I'm able to come on board, as long as Evan is able to come on board without any illnesses.
Yeah, without any illnesses.
We will be on here every Tuesday from 1 to 2 to bring you the news, whether it's good or bad, and just bring it to you and talk to you, give you a chance to chat in, to talk whatever your issues are. We're here for you. Mm-hmm. We're not here for them. We're here for you. And we're partnered with the city, but you are our dues paying member. And if you're listening to this broadcast, whether now or after, and you're not a member, please come and join to be a member. It's better to be a member to be safe than sorry. It's like having insurance on your car. You got to have insurance. That's the law. But you got to have insurance on your car to drive in the city. If, something happens, you want to be taken care of. So you're supposed to have a muzzle on.
I know, but I can't. It's not in me. I can't.
Okay, speak your piece.
So anyway, going back to what Anna was saying, handling things on your own. I know a lot. I've spoken to a lot of people within the past couple of weeks, and they like to go to the commissioner themselves or the HR departments, and that's fine. We're not saying for you not to. However, when you're doing that and we're trying to help you on that same situation, you're getting information, we're getting it doesn't look right. If you're going to handle it, then handle it. That's fine. But if you're going to allow PACE to handle it, you got to let PACE do all of it. That means you don't communicate with them unless there's a meeting set up for you to communicate. Don't reach out to them on your own, because again, anything you say and do is going to be held for whatever it is. You have no idea what you can say or not say, but just reaching out to them sometimes is a problem. And then when we reach out, they say, well, so-and-so called us and we said this, and then we were able to do something further, but then now you got yourself stuck in a jam. So please be mindful of that. Try not to handle these things on your own. If you gave it to PACE, let PACE handle it. If PACE is slow, then just continue to stay, hey, get in touch with this person.
There's a reason.
And most of the time there is a reason PACE is slow. We might be waiting like you're waiting. So we don't get the answers immediately either. And I would much rather be, as far as, with the muzzle or no muzzle, whatever, I don't want to be the person from the beginning from Martin Luther King's speech when he said that they won't remember the enemies, but they will remember those that did not speak up, their friends. I can't be that person. It's not who we are.
Because that will hurt the most.
It will hurt.
It hurts the most when your friends or the people you thought was in your support don't speak up. That hurts
That's
the
the
most
worst.
than the enemy speaking.
It does. And that's why you remember that. You remember that the most. So I enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't speak much.
Because you wear the muzzle.
And
I had to put a muzzle on you. That was only, what do you call it? A parody? What do you call that word?
As we bring today's show to an end.
That's what I'm supposed to say. So just let me say, the reason we put the muzzle on, it was actually for a display of, what's that
We
word?
wanted a visual. You guys to see a
understand
yes.
what we and the behind the scenes have been going through with certain entities. And we hope we're going to get to the bottom of that, and it's going to be straightened out very soon. Trust and believe. So we hope you enjoyed the show today. Always chat in when you can, listen in, and subscribe. Do all of that, because you know what? I went back and saw, believe it or not, an old podcast about a month ago or so. It was 314 views. Boy, we moving up. Woo,
Yeah.
woo, woo.
And we would love for you guys to, when you chime in, your name appears on there. What we want to do is protect everybody as much as possible. So if you can have a fake name, use your initials if you want to, whatever you can do, because when other guests come on, they're going to say your name. They're going to say what they see. So we want you to have a name that no one knows but you and us, maybe, or just you.
Unless they're bold enough to do it. We're not going to.
You are bold enough to do it.
Listen.
But then we were advised to do that. Remember?
Well, that's heat from anybody getting retaliated.
Exactly. So we trying to do that part.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh,
just that piece.
excuse
Can I
me.
have
Well,
that?
see, I'm bold. I'm like,
you are, and that's nothing wrong with being bold. It's nothing. That's
so in other words, do a pseudonym.
Yeah, do a pseudonym.
Do a pseudonym, and we'll know who you are when you just let us know.
Because we don't want you to get in any, we just, I mean, they see our faces, so it's.
But understand that do not, in any form or fashion, stop chatting in.
Never stop.
Never stop.
Never stop.
Always. And the more the merrier. We want all of our members to be on here and blow up this chat line and say what you got to say.
And don't stop talking about what is good. Those things that are, we don't want you. We don't want people to, we don't want anyone, like I had someone say, they're not coming to the union anymore because they feel like they're being retaliated on. Well, now you let them win. You let them win.
Yeah.
So whenever you have an issue, and you're going to have an issue because they're going to last, their relationship that they built with you is not going to last long. It's just until as long as they need you. So you have to be bold. You have to have that. And it's not easy. It's not. But again,
Florida has stand your ground with weapons. We have stand your ground with what's right. Speaking the truth.
Yeah.
Stand your ground. And if we just giving you some advice, but if you feel you okay with chatting in with your name, do so. We're not scared.
Yeah.
We're not running scared. And I just wanted to share, because we tell everything. We're very transparent with you, to let you know what's going on with us, to let you know what's going on in the city. And we just bring you the light of what's happening. So you'll understand the fight, that not only are we fighting for you, we're fighting for our own union, because we got some people that just don't want to collaborate and partner.
Not at all.
And so hopefully this new mayor, once he get through his 100 days and get his whatever he needs to do fixed, we'll be sitting at the table. He will support us more, partner with us more, and making sure that his colleagues or his subordinates will do the same.
And all the other unions that may be listening, may not be listening, that is within the city of Atlanta, this is the time where we should come together. Because whatever happens to one union is going to happen to them all. It's going to affect. It's a ripple effect. It's going to happen to all.
To all unions. So that's, you're correct. Because they're not going to pick out one union. Because once they target one union, it's going to affect everybody, because we are 4 unions in this city that's legislated again to operate as a bona fide union. And you can't do nothing about that unless you change your legislation. Then that would affect ASME, that would affect the fire union, the police union. And so one thing happens, like Ebony said, it's a ripple effect. And I don't think the city is going to go for that. So all of you entities that's trying your best, only because you may not, and this is Gina saying it, not Ebony, only because you don't want to partner with us and do the right thing when the stuff that you're trying to get across ain't working, you're causing this problem. You put more energy into being negative than trying to be positive. So that's what I have to say today. And as we bring today's show to an end, we anticipate that we have been a beacon of hope to you. Some have entertaining to some. We're a little bit more serious today because this was a serious subject. And we have been able to shed light on all things in the city, some of the things that you're listening to. Because, I just got to say this tidbit before I close out. I used to march with Angela Davis when I was in college. Tell you my age. So this has been born in me to speak out. And my father was in the military, and he saw me on TV. Boy, did I get a punishment. Because by him being in the military, we could not be in something. No family member could be in this or something against. They felt riots and stuff. But back then, they were rioting in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
And when something is in you like that, growing up, my mother, she used to take care of homeless. We used to do all those advocating things. And when it's in you, it's just in you. It's nothing you can do. You could try to stop.
Well,
you can try, but when something is, it's like being born a chicken or a dog. You got to bark.
One way or the other.
How you gonna be what you are if you can't do the things that you're created to do?
And see, at that time in Fayetteville, North Carolina, you guys know anything about history in Fayetteville, North Carolina, it's called Fuquay-Varina. That's the home of the Ku Klux Klan. And so there was a lot of stuff going on in Fayetteville, North Carolina, where we had to take the Black Panthers movement. We had to take a stand. Where did I want to take a stand? On this side or that side? You know what side but I was in the middle because I was white on this side and I was black on this side. So I didn't know. But I got an Afro wig. We'll talk about it in the next show. You got what? Well, maybe we'll do it the next week. We'll do an Afro wig thing. And all y'all, we can't see you, but send us a picture of your old school.
We can put them on.
Oh, we can put them on? If you guys got an Afro wig or the pick or anything related back in the days, we'll
organize one for the show for that. Yes, as the old saying goes, if you don't stand up for something, you will fall for anything. That is right, KT. You've got to stand for something. I didn't raise my children to be fearful of anything. It was the same way how my parents did me. Those things that I just took, it just resonated with me. I've always been this person.
She has.
And I can't.
And she said the other day, and I take that as an accolade to me.
What?
She says, I'm starting to sound like Gina.
Oh my goodness. We had went to
I was so proud of you.
We went to City. I was there first before you got there.
Yeah.
As always, because she's late.
I'm always late.
And so I ran into one of the council persons that we endorsed. And I had on my shirt, my union shirt, Pace. It was bright and clear. You could see it. He walked right past me. And I said, now, how you doing? And I know you just didn't walk past this shirt. And I heard Gina say, that's how she, I said, no, this, you know what? How can you walk past? That's a big old bright color shirt.
You'll get to that point. That's what I told her.
Yes.
Yeah.
But before we leave, I want to leave you guys with this little quote from President Robert F. Kennedy. Each time a man stands up for an ideal or acts to improve the lot of others or strikes out against injustice, he sends forth a tiny ripple of hope. And that's all we want to do. Stand up for what we can, send out a tiny ripple of hope, and hopefully it's going to continue to flow and ripple out and affect and touch those that we are trying to touch and reach. That's all we're trying to do. So we want you to share this episode if you can, and tune next week at 1 p.m. to 2. Help us to bring the good part back to the city. If you're not a subscriber, again, go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't become a member, the member dues are $16 per check, $32 per month. And we want to, again, say thank you for listening to Radio Connections with Pace, where it all comes together. And next week, we will see you guys with more city news. And after the meeting this Friday, we will definitely have something
for Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. What do you have? Because I was saying bye.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you said bye because I had to take that call. It kept coming back to back, and it was the police department. I was like, they said, hello, this is Officer so-and-so for the police department. I'm like, oh, Lord.
See that?
No, it was about an accident report. Thank you. I didn't do nothing wrong. I ain't scared of the po-po.
Till they got it in handcuffs. But we gonna see y'all next week.
Y'all next week. Please be safe. And remember, go get your physical.
And watch those movies.
Yeah, watch that movie.
And you get your money from your Kaiser and Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Yeah. I'm waiting on mine.
Yes. And it is the $16 per check, $32 per month is the best investment. We might be a little slow on some things because it's a reason. We handling it in the back. We moving. It's just slow.
And did you tell them about the bonus money? You get $50 per new applicant that you send in?
Oh, yes. If you bring someone in, you make sure you sign your name at the bottom.
As a witness. Mm-hmm.
Definitely do. So,
all right.
See you guys next week.
Because I got to eat. She cooked.
I did.
Bye, y'all. Love you. See you next week.